paper piling up in the case against Casey Anthony.
Both the prosecution and defense filed more motions today. West 2's Amanda Ober is live at the Orange County Courthouse with the late-breaking details. And Amanda, some of those motions have to do with the death penalty.
Yes, the defense wanted the state to provide a list of reasons the state's going to argue that Casey deserves a death sentence. Now, in its response, the state basically said that its reasons should be obvious and that the defense's request is a waste of the court's time. The defense in the Casey Anthony case wants the state to provide a list of so-called aggravating circumstances. Those are circumstances prosecutors will try to prove exist that qualify Casey for a death sentence. In his response, prosecutor Jeff Ashton says the reasons they'll argue for a death penalty should be obvious. He points out, according to state law, there are 15 aggravating circumstances that can lead to a death penalty, and 9 of them would clearly not apply to Casey, but 4 of them clearly do. Those 4 include the fact that Casey is accused of aggravated child abuse and premeditated murder, that the victim was under 12, and that the victim was her child.
That's fine.
Criminal defense attorney Richard Hornsby says there are 2 other aggravated circumstances the state could argue. One is that Casey stood to benefit financially from the crime. The other, which Hornsby thinks the state is more likely to argue, is that Kaylee's murder was especially cruel.
It's my belief that Jeff Ashton has already put the defense and the entire public on notice that he's going to try to prove that just by the way he made that presentation in court about how the duct tape might have been placed over Kaylee's mouth and how she might have seen the eyes of her killer as she took her last breath.
Now, in what appears to be a tit-for-tat move, the state is now demanding something from the defense. I'll tell you what they're asking for coming up on West 2 News at 5. Live outside the Orange County Courthouse, Amanda Ober, West 2 News.